Quick little video on my Quickjack. This is just the left ramp here. It's actually not a ramp. You do not drive over top of these. You slide these under the vehicle. If you drive over top, it will void the warranty on them. They're not designed for that. The front of the jack will be where the Quickjack placard is. That's always going to be the front. Now, if you have a rear engine vehicle, you would turn this jack around and you would lift it with this placard facing the rear of the vehicle. That will accommodate the weight of the engine being in the rear. Most vehicles will be weight biased towards the engine. Now, some sports cars may be 50-50, so it won't make a difference which direction you have this. The one thing that I would recommend is make sure that you have the locking arm facing to the outside of the vehicle. So like this one would be the left side. Now, if I was to turn this around for a rear engine car, this would become a right side. And the reason why you would do that is so that you don't have to reach through or under the jack to release the locking mechanism on it. And what you do there is when these are locked, these arms are locked in, this will be up, and the arms, this little piece right here, locks into those little nubs in there. They're welded in, and this locks up against them and keeps it from going down, falling. And what you do is you lift this silver part. Once you raise the jack up, lift the silver part, and then that will rest over top of these nubs, and it will slide right over them to lower it. But you don't want to reach through the jack to do that. You want this on the outside, so that way if something was to ever happen, you don't have your arm in between the jack and the floor. I did a little modification to my jack, and that is I added little ball type wheels. I bought these at Northern Tool. Yeah. The hose out of the way. These are 1/2 inch, I believe, and they're just little balls. They just roll, allows the jack to roll easy. What I did, I just took a little bolt and a lock nut. It's an Allen head on the bottom, and I took me a piece of metal and made a little bracket on top, and I just bolted these right to these frames. Now when this back part here lifts, because here's your pivot point, these come right off the ground right away. On the front, same thing. These will lift right off the ground, so as soon as you start to lift, I have them in the front also. I put them on the very front, and I put them towards the back side of the arm on the rear, and this allows this jack to be rolled very easy. Yeah, you know, it's a little noisy because they are little metal ball bearings, but I find them better than the nylon wheels, which seem to lift these higher. So it's a nice little upgrade you can make. Now here you have the pump. One thing you want to be cautious of on the pump is the new ones all have a plastic tank. But this one, some of them have a automatic pressure release, so you don't have to do anything. But this one has a manual. You need to make sure, if you have this type, that you unscrew that so that it will breathe. So that way when you're filling up the jack with the hydraulic fluid in here, raising it, it's not going to suck in this plastic tank. When you're all done using it, and also releases the air when you lower it and puts the fluid back in here. When you're all done, you just close this back up. That keeps any dust and dirt from getting inside the hydraulic fluid. Just a simple little up down button to raise and lower. This runs off 110. This comes with blocks to use, 2 different sizes. You have, put this back here. You have a tall block and you have a shorter block. You never want to stack them with the short block on the bottom. You always want to stack them with the short block on top if you're going to stack. You only want to stack 2. You don't want to stack 2 large ones. You could stack 2 of the small ones, but you don't want to stack 2 large ones. Now there's only 4 of each, so basically you're only going to be able to stack them like this unless you buy more. I also bought the pinch weld blocks, even though I don't need them, because I put jacking rails on my wife's Mustang, so that eliminated that issue for me on her car. But at any rate, this is a super nice jack. Makes raising your vehicles easy. Her Mustang works perfect on it, and my Tacoma works perfect on it. I did have to order the truck stands. I'm waiting on those to show up. So when I get those, it'll be absolutely perfect. I hope this information helps anybody that's thinking about a set of Quickjacks.